Is this your next smart deadbolt? Let's have a look. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the Kwikset Smartcode 888 electronic deadbolt. Well, this is the box. This is actually the deadbolt. And let's go ahead and lock my door. That's pretty easy. Now it's locked, double check. Yep, I can't get back in my house. I better make sure I remember the code. So let's go ahead and try the code. So I'm going to try a temporary code that I've just set for this review. There we go. So super easy code, easy to remember, and obviously it works. And now, if I can actually get to the door handle, I can open my door. It's amazing. So let me tell you about this deadbolt, because it's actually really cool. And the biggest thing that's great about it is that it's really set at an entry-level price. This is actually a budget smart home deadbolt, and that's a great thing. Now, the deadbolt, the Kwikset, actually supports up to 34 to 8-digit combinations, or access codes as they call them. And if you do the math, that means if you have 4 digits and you only have these 5 buttons to get all of the digits in, that means you have a total of 625 combinations as a 4-digit number. But here's a handy tip. When you set up a code for someone, use their cell phone number. It's pretty darn easy. Random people that walk into your front door or walk into your garage, in my case, they're not going to have a clue what those numbers are, and 7-digit gives you a lot more combinations. In fact, if you go to an 8-digit access code, there are 390,000 combinations that take into account the fact that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, for example, are basically the same button push. So plenty of security. 30 different combinations means you can have one for your cleaner and another one for your kids, and then one that you set for grandma who no longer is in town, so now you take that code away. Or maybe you leave grandma's and you take away the cleaner's code. Well, however you want to do that, it works off of 4 AA batteries, and we'll go out back into the house, and I'll show you the other side in just a second. And it has an auto lock feature too. This is kind of cool. For some settings, you can actually have it where once you unlock it, after 30 seconds to 3 minutes, it will automatically lock again. That can be really helpful if you are around people who forget to lock the door. Although, honestly, it's one push and the door's locked again. It's pretty hard to make it any easier than that. Now, the other thing that Kwikset's done that's really cool is they have what they call their smart key rekey technology. So you'll notice it has this actual traditional key as an emergency override, but you don't need to use it. Turns out that you can actually always use the code, of course. If the battery dies, then you're going to need the code. It comes with a key. You're going to need the key. It comes with the key, but if you already have a bunch of keys, you can actually redo this yourself. You can reset it so that it works with your existing house key. How cool is that? Now, I haven't tried that piece of technology because I don't use keys anymore. I just have smart deadbolts everywhere. But if that's something that's important to you, it's really nice to have that fail-safe. So that's a really good benefit. And Kwikset has some really nice videos on their website that explain exactly how to do that. It's not super easy, but people do report success. So it's something you can do without having to call a locksmith. And speaking of calling a locksmith, I installed this myself. It's pretty darn easy. It's going to take you probably 30 minutes to an hour all told to take out an old traditional deadbolt and put this one in. But that's also, it took that long for me because I'm very meticulous about the steps I take. So, you know, if you're going to just zip through it and you're experienced with this sort of homework, then it's super easy. But even if you don't feel you're very much of a handyman or a DIY person, sorry, and you can still, I am confident you'll be able to install this thing and have it all ready to roll. So that's really cool. Now, let's talk about what happens when you plug it into a Z-Wave base, because that's where this really shines. So I have a Samsung SmartThings Z-Wave hub for my whole home security system, and this knows exactly how to talk to that, which means that I have remote access through SmartThings, the app, and through something called Smart Locks, which is a separate standalone app you install within the SmartThings universe. And with all of that installed, and it's pretty darn easy to get this all hooked up. Now I have remote locking and unlocking. I can set remote access codes, and I can even get remote notifications. So let me show you how this all works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remote unlock the door, and then I'm going to set a code, just a temporary code, and it's actually the one that I used earlier. And then I'm going to actually go and have a quick look at history to see when it's been locked and unlocked. And all of that you do via the app, so it's super easy. Now, if you want to work with Alexa and you have that as your home ecosystem, then you're going to need something called a Wink hub as opposed to a SmartThings hub. But that's something I don't have experience with, but other people report that it works just fine, and they can then say things like, Alexa, lock back door. That sounds very nice. And really, let's just jump inside real quick and let me show you just real quickly what the other side of the lock looks like. The inside controls are super easy to work with. This is the manual lock, so we can lock it or unlock it. That's easy enough. And then this cover slides off, and now you have access to the batteries, which you can see here, 4 AA's. It's easy enough to replace them. You drop it back in, and you're good to go. And this is the program button. So if you don't have a smart hub, this is actually how you change the codes and such, by pushing this in combination with the buttons on the other side. And when you're ready to go, you just slide this on and you're done. So let's end by just going ahead and locking my door. So that's all pretty straightforward actually, and I have to say that it's pretty easy to work with this, whether you're setting your codes manually or whether you get it all hooked up through your Z-Wave hub and you're setting them through the app. Of course, the app's probably a little bit easier, but either way, it was pretty straightforward for me to get it all working, and it obviously is up and running. Really, really impressed. It's really simple, and when you find out how much it costs, you'll be really impressed, and you might well just rush out and click that button and go buy one. That's what I did. So let's see. This is the Kwikset Smartcode 888. But whoa, before we get to that, let me ask if you can go ahead and click on that little red button on the lower right and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate when you subscribe to my channel. And while you're at it, leave me some feedback. Tell me, what kind of deadbolt do you have on your front door, and how does it work for you? And if you have a smart door or smart deadbolt, then what do you have and how is that working out? Cool. Now, let's get back to this. This is the Kwikset Smartcode 888 electronic deadbolt, and it comes in this finish, which is satin nickel. It also comes in a Venetian bronze, and it also comes in a polished brass. They're all very nice. The goal, of course, is to have it match the rest of your door hardware, which I demonstrably have not done. I'll get to it at some point. But here's the thing that's most amazing about this. The Smartcode 888 is $107. Now, if you've been looking at smart deadbolts, they are considerably more expensive than this in general. So this is a really nice entry-level option for people, and this could work really great for like an Airbnb, or if you just have people who come and visit, or you just want to have a bunch of roommates and you don't want to worry about keys going everywhere. Super convenient. So this is Dave Taylor. I am going to get back to programming my door, and that means I'll catch you in my next video.